So first things first, let's start with who are you and what is your business?
So, aloha, I'm Nikki Savella. I am a born and raised Hilo girl, native Hawaiian mama of three, and the visionary creator of Cupcakes Boom. My business is a local bakery. It's literally started from scratch, from the ground up, and we turned 11 this year. So, we serve scratch made cupcakes, macarons, Pinterest worthy cake designs, and extravagant holiday menus. This year, 2025, we expanded into our adjacent suite, so not necessarily different location. We took over right next door and we expanded to a full drink menu, and so that's kind of been the focus this year. Coming up with a ton of creative coffee offerings. We use locally roasted coffee, made grown and roasted on the Big Island, and then we do a lot of fun syrups and soft tops, everything made from scratch. So lots of house made items, but everything you can think of, desserts and drinks on a bougie extra level, that's the Boom.
Yeah, amazing. Okay. So can you share the story of how your business started?
Sure. Literally started when in a 2-bedroom house on Kilauea Avenue. I was a fairly new mom. I had my oldest daughter at 20, and after having my second daughter at 25, I kind of wanted something where I was going to be able to stay home with them. I've had odd jobs here and there since I was in high school, but once I had ordered, I think it was one of my daughter's cakes, I was like, I can do that. When I was pregnant with her and pregnant with my second one, and when I used to work in offices, I used to bake and watch Cake Boss all the time and YouTube videos. And so I think I'm a super creative person. And as time went on, I just kept making cake and cupcakes and for the community and for people. And when I say it literally boomed, that's what happened in a couple of years' time. And I kind of hit a ceiling working out of my house for 2 years. I couldn't make anything else. I was working through the night. I took so many orders. I did every single craft fair you could think of. And then November 2014, after having my third daughter, 3 months after having my third daughter, we opened the Boom. Cupcakes Boom. It's still called Cupcakes Boom, but it's like kind of evolved into just the Boom now because we offer so much more than cupcakes.
Is that kind of how like your business name became?
Oh yeah. So, like anytime you say something that is like emphasized, it's like boom, right? So I had this huge wedding order, probably my first wedding order ever. And weddings is a little bit more extra, right? Like there's tons of eyeballs on the cake, on the cupcakes. Don't think I was doing the cake at the time, but I think it was like 1,000 cupcake order. I was baking out of my mom's house on Pane'ewa. I still have customers that come that picked up in Pane'ewa, like OG customers. It was 1,000 cupcakes. I had them all on the table because getting ready to, I don't even think they were frosted yet. My brother walks in the door and he opens the door and he looks at the dining table with thousands of cupcakes. And you know what he said? Cupcakes, boom. And that was it. The rest is history. That was the name. We laughed for like 20 minutes straight, crack up, laugh, and that was it. That was the name.
Nice. What is the most popular item you offer?
Okay, so cupcakes every month when I run a report, cupcakes really have always been the leader. Lately, in the last couple of years, macarons have been the leader. But they're very neck and neck. It's cupcakes and macarons are probably the most popular. Flavor-wise, hands down, Fruity Pebble macarons is the most popular thing, the thing that is bought the most over time. So, do I think that's the most popular thing we offer? No. My favorite is pumpkin cheesecake cupcakes. Only comes out in November. I haven't eaten one yet. But yeah, Fruity Pebble macarons, if I had to say what is the favorite, the customer favorite, it's that.
Do you like making the cupcakes or the macarons more?
I have not made something in a while. Okay, funny
really?
story. So you see this little air freshener?
Yes.
It's a KitchenAid mixer. Super cute, yeah. My mom got that me for my birthday like when my birthday was like a week ago. I said, Mom, how cute, but I haven't baked anything or used the mixer in like years. So if I was to think back then, what is my favorite thing to make? I think I started with cupcakes because it's so versatile. I could be super creative. And again, right, I think that's where my passion for the business started, is because I just like to be creative. I want it to taste good, of course, but everybody eats with their eyes. So it's gotta visually look good to me first. Then 50% is taste, right? It's gotta taste good after. But they're gonna buy it based on how it looks first. So cupcakes, probably, if I had to say baking wise, it's also the easiest. Not gonna say macarons because they're very hard.
How does tourism influence your business during the year?
It fluctuates. We certainly know when a boat is in town. So we've been here for 11 years this month. Okay, so November 22nd, we turn 11. And so we've been in the same location. We've seen the seasons. We've also seen COVID, right? And we went through that whole spiel. But Hawaiian Style and Neil's are our anchor restaurants. They've been here for over 10 years as well. So I think the complex opened a couple years before me. So they might be on year 13 now. Also, we have Big Island Candies next door, right? So Hawaiian Style Meals and Big Island Candies bring a ton of tourists naturally, right? And so gratefully, because we're in the complex, tourists are just walking around. So we've got signs outside, right? Cupcakes, dessert, coffee aside. We know when a tour bus is dropped off at Big Island Candies. We know when a boat is in, because we'll just see consistent tourists throughout the day. So it's great because it kind of backs up our local purchases. Well, local customer purchases, I should say, right? But I don't necessarily think we are focused on that, because they're also spending less. So tourists for us will spend less. Why? Because they can't take anything back on the boat with them. They're not traveling, or they don't have a huge party to feed, right? So they're probably buying maybe $10, $15 worth, whereas we're focused on a $30 ticket, average ticket, right, for every customer coming in. So if you ask me like how it affects us, it really doesn't, but we certainly know when they're in. Do they affect our business? They certainly like maybe make a percentage of it, but it's not our bulk customer. We're not advertising to tourists, kind of like how Big Island Candies are, right? It's like it's a staple for tourists to go visit over there, or get a table at Hawaiian Style Cafe and try to eat there.
Do you notice certain times of the year when tourists visit more often?
Summer for sure, but I think Hawaii weather is consistent, so it really doesn't matter. Definitely see an influx in the summer. We've never really tracked it either, though. I want to say every once in a while I'll get a text, whether it's from somebody in the complex or just an outside resource, about how many boats to expect. They're just like giving us, if we're in a community of business owners, like, hey, just to let you guys know, we've got, I want to say October maybe was 147 boats that docked or something like that. So it's a lot, and it's kind of just increased since COVID. So I think this year we probably have seen the most boat action. And again, we feel it. We can tell, like, okay, something's going on, because we know not everybody is flying in and renting all these cars. Like, when there's a lot, we can tell.
What do you want visitors to remember most about your business?
I mean, the product is good, but I think we offer a little bit of a sweet treat in paradise, right? That's what they're looking for. They're on vacation, right? So if we're speaking directly to tourists, they're on vacation. But we want them to, we can sniff them out if they're tourists
Yeah.
or not, right? So the girls are pretty good at getting them to try something that's not readily available anywhere else. So we push the lilikoi, we push the ube. The thing that probably sells the most is chantilly, because that's not. I want to say there's probably a French cream that's similar to it, right? But local style, the way we make it is very different. Um, and ohelo berry. So we have ohelo berry usually November, December. We try to bring it out, and even in April. So there's certain times of the year that we have more local flavors, and that's what we'll push tourists to try, because we want them to remember products and flavors of here, not
Yeah.
the pineapple, not the normal what they think Hawaii is. We've got macnut. Yes, we do a white chocolate macnut cookie. Um, Also the coffee. We really, now in this space, we really push the coffee and letting them know that it's grown and roasted right here on the Big Island. I don't know of any other coffee shop that uses OK Farms espresso beans. I could do some research on that. But I know there's, all of the coffee shops around us in Hilo, we are the only ones that use OK Farms. And I will prefer to just drink that. But when we're talking to tourists, if you're going to get a coffee, get this one, because it's not a Costco coffee. It's not flown in from somewhere. It's special. Yeah. So the flavors is what we want them to remember.
Okay. Have you ever had a memorable or unique experience with a tourist?
We have a few. The ones that we do that I think are the most memorable is the ones that are already following us. The ones that see us on TikTok and Instagram, follow us, and just so happen to come to Hawaii, whether they, land in Honolulu, visiting Maui, Kauai, or come to Hilo, they make it a point to come here. Those are the most memorable. We have, and I just think we've built social relationships with them. Because most of the time, if someone was to DM me or comment or whatever, they're talking directly to me. Sometimes my team will see messages and respond, but most of the time, the relationships we've built is on social is me directly with the customer. So when they come in, for example, 3 girls knocked on my door last week, and like if I look and I'm like, who is that? The girls, like my workers, they'll just knock and then come in, right? But I'm like, 3 girls are standing at my door. So I open it, and they're like, are you Auntie Boom? And I said, yeah. And they're like, oh my God, we follow you on TikTok, and we were visiting. We came for her birthday. Today's her birthday, and we knew we had to come to the Boom for her birthday. So it's just special to know that they might be following from afar, not even a paying customer that I'm talking to all the time, right? When I'm talking to social media, I want them to come in and support the business. But even a tourist that will just visit, that's following from social media, will still make it a point to come and visit and say hi, introduce themselves, say hi, try all the things. So that's pretty memorable when we know they're following us and cheering us on. Because support doesn't only come from transactions, right? It's sharing the posts, connecting on social media. So that's special.
What do you hope for the future of your business in Hilo?
Legacy. To live on like 100+ year KTA. Whether it's me, someone else, if it's in my family, or if I sell it to somebody else, I really just hope the boom continues, because this has become so much more than desserts. It's really, when we started, the values were God, family, and community. How can I serve God, serve my family, and serve community? Everything I do gotta encompass those 3 things. My hope and prayer is that that can continue, whether I'm still doing it, I sell it to somebody, one of my kids take it over. But this place has become a space, a gathering for celebrations, because we're not in the bakery industry. We're in the industry of celebrating, right? As simple as a birthday or an anniversary, a wedding, all those regular occasions, but just every day. Some people, you have hard days, you come in, you ain't walking into a cupcakes store sad, right? You're like looking forward to a cupcake or a macaron, a saibo, a cup of coffee, whatever. And even if you are upset or had a rough day, tired, life is hard sometimes, right? My prayer is that you leave happy. It's kind of hard to be sad walking out with a cupcake in your hand, knowing, right? Knowing you're gonna be like, oh my God, I'm gonna enjoy this. And I will say that we have had, I think also having the faith entangled in the business really makes a difference. We've got worship music, and I just actually switched that in the last couple of months, only playing worship music because we toggled this year like worship music and country. And I didn't want to kill the girls with like Christian music all the time. But once I started to hear the customers' comments about, oh my God, you're playing Christian music. And we play like upbeat Christian music. We play Torrin Wells, we play Forrest Frank, we play Brandon Lake. Like if it plays a slow song, we tell Alexa, don't ever play the song again, right? Because we need upbeat, happy Christian music. The kids can listen to. But once I started hearing the customers say like, oh, you have Christian music, oh my God, I love that, I love this song, I knew it was something I needed to implement all the time. And we also have had customers, more than a handful, come in, leave, have their experience, leave. And it's not just with the desserts, it's with the team, it's with me, leave. And literally one in particular, I can remember, she wrote a review saying that she sat in her car after leaving and just cried because she just felt, not happy that she has a cupcake, but just the spirit of just the weight, the conversation that she had with one of the girls in here, and just didn't even need to spill her whole life story. It was just that exchange of energy and talk story, connect, and genuine connection, right? Because you know the difference between regular customer service, good, pleasant,